Hey,
What's
Facebook.
up? What's up? What's up? We are back.
Yes.
We are back. Good afternoon. Look
Yes.
at
Hey,
Savalis is tuned in today.
Yes.
Good to have you with us for our topic. What do you do when the bottom falls out from under you?
Hey, Tanya.
Hey, Tanya.
What
Tanya
do
be
you
the
do?
first one on camera too, don't you?
Yes, she do, honey. She's
I'm
on
telling
it.
you, we love it, we love it, we love it, we love it. I'm telling you prayerfully that you guys have had a blessed week this
Yes.
week. She says, Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too. Friday. I love that. Prayerfully, you guys have had a blessed week. And if not, we're going to pray that the remainder of this day, that the Lord is going to do something for you that is special, that only He can do. So we're going to go ahead on and get started because we like to start on time so we can end on time. So y'all sing along with us. It's Friday.
You know the deal.
It's Friday.
So let's talk for real.
It's Friday.
So let's talk.
Let's talk for real. Let's talk with Shay and Trill. Let's talk. Let's talk for real. Let's talk. Let's talk for real. Hey, everybody.
Hey, we had a little jazzy sound or
we
something
did.
going on with that one this time.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Michelle joined us. Dennis joined us. Hello, hello, hello.
Yes.
So we are excited about the topic today. Hello, everybody that's tuning in on camera too. Our topic today is what do you do when the bottom falls out from under you? Have you ever had have you ever found yourself in a place where everything you try to do is not working?
Yes.
Have you ever found yourself in a place you can get out before you could get out of one storm, another storm was on its way?
Yes.
So today we're going to give you a couple of brief definitions of what it means when we say the bottom falls out.
Yes.
This is what it says: a much lower limit of something that has fallen. A fast, unanticipated reversal of fortune or loss.
Unanticipated. Keyword.
A falling into a figurative abyss. An unexpected, swift collapse. There was no bottom of the fall. It just kept falling even lower. So there was just nothing there was no end to it. In other words, it's quick. It's unanticipated. It's a collapse. It's a sudden collapse. And I can tell you, just recently, I have had several conversations with some dear friends, and truly, it feels like to them, I'm sure, that the bottom has truly fallen out. And let me give you an example, and then, sis, I'm going to let you jump in.
Alrighty.
So a dear friend of mine is going through an illness. He had been on dialysis for a while. And as he was going through getting his dialysis treatment, they found out something else was wrong. And it was a tumor on his brain. And so the good thing is, check this out, that his son secretly got tested to see if he was a match for his dad to give him a kidney. Praise God, he was a match. So they went through the surgery, the procedure. He gave his father the kidney, and lo and behold, his body rejected the kidney. And it was touch and go for a minute. So then, by his body rejecting the kidney, he had to go back into surgery. They had to, try to rework everything, but still the kidney is not performing. It's not working out. So now they are devastated.
Yes.
They went through he did all he was supposed to do, the right thing. But now it's like one thing, it continues to happen after the other. But this is one thing I would say that his wife did. His wife, they interviewed her, and the one thing she kept saying was, it could have been worse.
Yes.
Thank God for allowing him to be with me another day, allowing me that I can love on him and talk to him another day. But the fact of the matter is that they are still devastated. And this is one thing that I will say for anybody out there today who's dealing with one thing after the other, one storm after the other. I want you to stop telling God how big your storm is and tell your storm how big your God is. Go ahead, sis.
Yes. For me, when the topic came up, I looked at it like a storm. When sometimes you go out and look outside and the clouds are real dark and it's like something is about to happen and you don't know exactly when it's going to happen. And so you get yourself prepared, you get your umbrella, you get yourself all covered up, and you think, okay, I'm gonna make it to my car. And then all of a sudden the bottom drops out.
Yes.
And now the umbrella is no effect to you. Covering up is no effect to you. So when you're talking about the bottom dropping out, it's something that's unexpected. You can't prepare for it. You try your best to prepare for things that's coming, but there's just certain things that will hit you out of nowhere.
Yes.
You don't see signs of it coming. You don't get forewarned about it. Only thing you know is that something is about to happen.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the bottom dropping out, none of us are exempt.
None. Can you say that again? None of us are exempt from the bottom falling out, especially when we are believers. Go ahead, sis.
And none of us are exempt. So a couple of things happen when the bottom drops out. First of all, it's how you're going to respond to the bottom dropping out.
Come on, Trill.
Some of us will drop with the bottom.
Yes.
And that means you will drop into the position called submission and giving up.
Giving up.
You won't fight. You won't get up. You won't bounce back because the bottom has devastated you so to the point that when it falls, you fall.
Right.
Your faith falls.
Yes.
Your trust in God falls. Then you got where some people, the bottom has dropped and they're not even aware that the bottom has dropped.
Will you say that?
Some people, your bottom has already dropped out and you walking around thinking you're still intact, but there's so much chaos going on around you, you can't figure out what it is because your bottom has dropped out. Then some of us get in the position, that fetal position, where you're defeated because your bottom has dropped. Because now you don't know how to fight. You don't know how to make a comeback. You don't know how to pull yourself out of the hole, the abyss, as you say. And then there are some of us, just a small percentage of us, that when the bottom drops out, what it does, it causes that thing called fight.
Yes.
To rise up on the inside of us. And now, not only, I'm not going to wait for somebody to come get me. I'm going to rescue myself. And not only am I going to rescue myself, but if you get me out of this hole, I'm going to fight for everything that you done did to cause me to go in here and everything that was attached to it. So you got to look at the effects of what happens when your bottom falls out.
Absolutely.
Away from under you.
Absolutely. And you said a key word there. When the bottom falls out, how are you going to respond? Now, there are some of you that I know, for me, I've had brothers who have been charged with murder and have spent time in prison. There are some of you that might be going on with your child, your brother, your husband, your loved one. You might have a loved one that's sick. You might have an ailing parent that you're taking care of. You might have a child that's sick. You might have just lost your job. You might be heading into foreclosure. Your car might be repossessed. It could be a number of things that could be going on with you right now. But let me tell you something. If God ordained it, He will maintain it. If God allowed it, there is purpose in it. And my question to you today is, what are you going to do when the bottom falls out from under you? Are you going to stand and fight, or are you going to, like Trill say, submit and give in? Are you going to, roll over and ball up into a fetal position, or are you going to stand? Especially those of you out there in the audience who are believers. The Bible says that greater is He he that's on the inside of me than he that's within the world. Now, let me tell you something that I heard Iyanla Van Zant say. Iyanla says, difficulty and challenges come to transform you. If there is a difficult situation that you are facing, if there are challenges that have come into your life, it has come for a purpose and a reason. Yes, people say for a season, but you never know how long the season is going to be. But the key is the difficulty, is the challenge going to transform you? Now, this is what happens. She said, if you're not transformed. She says, if you're not transformed by the bottom falling out, it means that the negative ego has motivated you to forget the grace that brings you through. So, see, you can't have no ego when you're going through storm after storm. You can't, let me say that again. Now, you can have an ego if you want to, but it's not going to work out for you.
And let us know how that works for you.
It's not going to work out for you. If you allow your ego to get in the way. Because, see, let me tell you something. When you are a parent and you have children, you can't afford to allow your ego to get in the way, especially when you're trying to take care of your children. Especially when you're trying to keep a roof over their head. Especially when you're trying to keep food on the table. There is no place ever for an ego. This is the one thing she said. After that, you know, if the ego has motivated you to forget the grace that brings you through. She said the first thing you need to do when the bottom falls out, she said, is quickly find something to be grateful for. She said, and admit that there was something that you didn't know that you learned as a result of the difficulty. That way you're being humbled by the difficulty and being grateful at the same time.
And see, I like that what Mr. Darnell Pope, put. He said ego is edging God out.
Come on, that's good.
I love that.
That's good. Go ahead.
And sometimes we got to understand the bottom falling out is necessary for us.
Because
the bottom can be your bondage. The bottom can be your mistrust. The bottom could be your pride.
Yes.
But sometimes God had to make those things that are making you disconnect from him fall away. But what we'll do, we'll try to catch it and have a little safety net when the bottom falls out, because we don't want God to take that just yet, because that is the reason why I can still cuss him out, or that's the reason why I can still act mean and spiteful with people. That's why I can go around here and say that I'm a child of God, but I ain't loving nobody. I ain't talking to nobody. That's why you got people who got all these Facebook friends, and then when they go out there in the public, the people can't even open their mouth and say, hey, Felicia, or bye, Felicia. So you got to understand that sometimes losing your bottom is going to get you to a place of humility. It's going to take some things out of you that is preventing you from really walking fully in what God has for you to do. So like he said, that ego, it'll take you from being edging God out. It'll put God back into the midst of some things, because, you know, some of us negotiate.
Don't we?
When the bottom falls out.
When the bottom falls out.
We'll negotiate. We'll go out here and do everything that we're big and bad enough to do. But then when the bottom falls out, we go and we're going to get on our face and get on our knees. And now that's when we want to have a conversation with God and say, if you deliver me from this, and if you do this, if you do that, then I'll do this.
I won't do it no more. Giving God conditions. Really?
What they say, old folks say, if was a fifth, we all be drunk.
Oh, my word. That's good. If was a fifth,
we'll all be drunk.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And some of us, we need challenges.
Yes.
We need them. We need the bottom to fall out sometimes. You know why? Because then that's the only time when the bottom falls out, you fall on your face and lay prostrate before God. That's the only time that you reach for God. That's the only time that you really submit under his mighty hand. Because I'm going to tell you something. When I began to read 2 Corinthians 5, verses 7 through 10, and this is where it's talking about Paul was saying that he sought the Lord 3 times to have this thorn removed out of his flesh. But this is what the word said. Now, this ain't what Shay said. This is what the word said. He said, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me. Now, your challenge that storm, that next hurricane, that tsunami, it might be a messenger that has been sent to buffet you. Not to kill you, but to refine you. Not to destroy you, but to chisel you out. Not to, take away from you in a sense, but to get you in a place where that ego now has come off of you and you're now submitting to God. And then this is what he says. Lest I should be exalted above measure. See, sometimes we got to go through, because if we don't, we'll think more of ourselves than we should. So we got to go through times like this. Then he says, for this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, he meaning God, my grace is sufficient for thee. For my strength is made perfect in your weakness.
Yes. See, Mr. Pope is talking. He said, the Lord is your navigator. Allow him to direct thy path. And if you buff something long enough, you will shine.
Yes, indeed.
But we don't want to be buffed.
We don't want to be buffed.
We want to keep walking around here dull. We want to keep walking around.
To think that we're shining.
We want to walk around here and we want to walk around like we champions. Like we have, we're already defeating the enemy, but we're walking around defeated in our posture. We're walking around with this "woe is me" look on our face, and we really are giving the adversary more credit than what he even deserves, because we making him greater than God.
Right.
Every little thing that we come up against, we want to ball up and just give up. We don't want to fight. But when we was in them streets,
girl, if you don't say that, I wish somebody would.
When you were in them streets,
act like you want to do it.
And you got your nice gear on.
Act like you want to do it. Don't step on my new shoes.
Into me.
Don't do it because you did it on purpose, because I look better than you.
You roll your eyes at me.
Come on here.
You smack your teeth at me.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't take a lot of us. It didn't take much for a lot of us to want to fight.
Come on.
Now,
come on.
It takes the devil attacking your kids, attacking your family, attacking your body, attacking your health, and you still won't fight.
And you still won't fight. And why is that? Just letting the devil have his way. My brother said, anything that is precious to God, it is like a diamond. It needs to be cut for perfection. Yeah, there has to be a cutting. And that's what these challenges come to do. That's what the storms come to do. They come to perfect you.
Because you look, if you're even thinking about a diamond is not clear when it's first found.
No, ma'am.
When you go back and research how you got to go through that process to become a diamond.
Come on.
And how people, it's a blood diamond. People are losing their lives behind this stone.
Yes.
Because of all that has to be done to get it.
Yes.
And then when you get it, you don't even understand the value of it.
So you can't really appreciate all that the diamond had to go through to shine. So some of you out there are diamonds that are going through the process of being buffed so that you can shine.
Yes.
Isn't that what he said? Isn't that what Job said? That he knows the way that I take after I've been tried, I shall come forth as pure gold. Some of us don't want to go through trials.
And some of us really, you got to go back. If your bottom is not dropping out, if your bottom ain't dropping out,
come on here,
ain't never dropped out,
come on,
don't look like it's gonna drop out,
come on,
you need to go back and check some stuff.
Come on.
I don't care how long you've been walking with God. If you're going to sit up there and tell somebody that you ain't never been through, that your bottom ain't never dropped out, that everything is perfect and you without a spot or a blemish.
How you going to know his power?
How you going to love you if you don't want to earn it?
Come on now.
You won't appreciate it if you ain't worked for it, because I'm telling you, when it's something that you done worked hard for and you done sacrificed and you done gave your blood, sweat, and tears over, you ain't going to let no devil in hell or anybody out there come and take something from you.
You better say that.
But we sit up here with open hands.
Say it.
And just say, here. Give it. Take it. Don't even make them fight for it.
Don't even make them fight for it.
So I said, if you're going to go to hell fighting.
Right. And some of you, like there's some of you out in the audience, your marriage might be on the brink. If your marriage is worth fighting for, then fight. And you have to tune out the voices. And the voices that are talking to you, you better qualify those voices to see if they are for you or against you. Because if God put it together, the Bible says no man will put it asunder. So if your marriage is worth fighting for, then you need to fight. Now, if it's not worth fighting for, then why stay in it? You know, why stay in it? Some of us want to be in something that's miserable. Because
I'm loving Mr. Pope today.
What'd he say?
He said, when they see your value, they know your worth.
That's right.
Third-party information.
Yeah, and that is exactly what it be. It be third-party information. You got this one over here in your ear. You got that one over here in your ear. But you better know that you know that you know that the word that you hear, it is coming from a mouthpiece that is qualified by God.
Yes.
And you yourself should be at a place prayerfully in your intimacy with God that you can hear God for yourself and that you will know what he's telling you to do. Because that third party information can get you in trouble.
Yes.
I'm just telling you now, you better qualify those voices, because the very one that's telling you to leave him and leave her, those jokers is the main one that's gonna be in the cut when you leave. Now I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing that out there. That might not be your case, but I'm telling you, I have seen it happen.
Yes, but thank God
I've seen it happen. Amen.
for the bottom dropping out from under you.
I'm telling you.
Because I'm telling you, Shay knows this has been a trying week for me.
Yes.
Because we want y'all to understand that when we come up here and we talk about these different topics, guess who got to word that topic first?
We do.
I can't talk to you about nothing that I ain't been through.
I'm trying
she
to tell
can't
you.
do it because, you know, it said we overcome by the words of our testimony.
Absolutely.
And if I don't have no test to come and talk about my testimony about how God allowed me to overcome. So these words these topics, they ain't just coming out the air.
That's right.
Because I'm telling you, it's been my bottom dropped out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the post-op.
In the post-op
complications. And ever since then, I've been going through. I ain't even gonna say I've been going through. I ain't even gonna put that out in my mouth.
You've been growing through.
I've been growing through.
You've been growing
I've been fighting through because when my bottom dropped out, it gave me a reality check.
Yeah.
It made me go back and reevaluate some things, and it made me go back and like he said, to see what the value in your worth was.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to go back and you got to retrain.
Yeah.
People on how to treat you, because people treat you based on how you allow them to, and you got to set some standards, and you got to make sure that, like she said, that if you got to qualify those voices that are giving you counsel and people that are talking to you about your situation, and you got to make sure that it's like-minded people, because you can't married people, you can't get no advice from single people.
Come on now, y'all better hear what she just said.
Especially if they ain't no believer. You got to be careful and ain't never been through something. So you got to make sure that you're qualifying the voices, like she said. And then you got to make sure that you are petitioning God for your situation, for yourself. Because one thing about it, God is not going to allow anything to come up and blindside you if you are aware and in tune with what God is telling you to do.
Absolutely.
So you got to make sure that you are prepared when your bottom falls out.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes when the bottom falls out, it's training time.
Absolutely. And that's what it comes to do. It comes to train you. It comes to train you. And then the other thing that mess you up is that when your bottom falls out, it ain't even about you.
Unless they want to be married too. Yes, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
He said unless they want to be married.
He said not unless you want to be married too.
Oh, in terms of the person that's single giving you counsel. Okay.
Yes.
I'm
sorry. I made you lose your train of thought.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Sean, your hind part ought to be here in the studio, making me lose my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Yes.
Go ahead. Y'all carry
But
on.
no, I just
lost my
want,
thought.
people to understand that, that this is, we're just not talking about certain things that, we go through too.
Absolutely.
And
we do.
really the challenges increase because of the responsibility that God has given us with this broadcast, that a lot of times some of these messages, the enemy just don't want it out there because he wants people to keep going through what they're going through and not having the tools to get out of them.
That's right. That's right. And so those of you who may be experiencing the bottom falling out, you at this point in time, especially if it's one thing after the other, this is my thought. Thank you, Jesus. What you're going through isn't even for you.
That's right.
It's for somebody else.
And that's my motto.
This thing ain't even about you.
It ain't even about you.
It's about who God is going to orchestrate to come into your life or to cross your path somewhere along the lines in your life so that you will be able to be more effective when you begin to minister to them. Because it's kind of hard to minister to me on a topic or an issue or a situation that I'm dealing with that you've never dealt with or that you've never had to grow through. And so, when the bottom falls out, baby, you got to know, is this my battle?
Nah.
Or is this a battle for God?
Yes.
Is this my battle? Or is this Trill's battle? Because sometimes we invite ourselves into battles that we have no business getting involved in. Because when you invite yourself into a battle, you have to be at a place where you understand there's a level of weaponry that you need to be able to win these battles. And if you're not prepared, if you have not gone through that training, if you haven't gone through that boot camp training, then you are opening yourself up for a world of trouble.
And Pastor Singleton says sometimes the bottom have to fall out so you can get rid of the trash. And he also said God sometimes uses the storm of life to restore our steps. Oh, yes.
That's real good right there. Because some of us, we going to be hard-headed. We going to do what we want to do. I don't care what you say. And the Lord will tell you to go left and you'll go right. And he'll come right back and say, didn't I tell you to go left? Yeah, but it over there looked real good. So I wanted to go right. So I went right.
And just to piggyback on what you just said about, make it understanding if this is your battle or your battle to your training to assist somebody else, because sometimes we can be so emotionally invested in our friends and our siblings and everybody around us that we miss what God has for that person because we too emotionally attached. And sometimes you got to remove your emotions and get yourself out of the way and understand that you might not like that joker right now. Right. Because of what that situation is or what's going on with them. But you got to still keep in mind that this is a soul. Right. And this is maybe an assignment that God has for you to be able to help that person get to where they need to get. So we got to stop being so emotional when it comes to fighting. Right. Because when you go out there and you talking about military, a lot of them, they're not going out there fighting in their emotions, because if you go out there and fight in your emotions, you're going to lose your life, because now you will forget all your training and now you're fighting with a whole different device, and now you out there, that's when you go that wild swinging and there's no order to your fight. So you got to be careful with that, with your emotions when it comes to that.
Yeah, and then I would say too that we have to be careful not to be so quick to go to somebody's defense and their rescue, because God may have allowed this particular storm to come to get them to a particular place in Him. So we have to take off that cape, as Trill say, wanting to save everybody, because that might not be your assignment. And we have to know what our assignments are, because if we don't, we end up making a monkey's uncle out of them and us, and we get in the way of what God really wants to do. And so you're right, we can't be emotional about these fights, these storms, because baby, let me tell you something, in 2018 it is on like a pot of neck bones from last week. You hear me? It is on.
That's on.
Yes, it's on. It is on like a pot of neck bones. So if you're not ready, if you're not prepared, let me encourage you to find some fighting partners. You find you somebody to connect to that show up know how to fight. You don't need scary cats in this season. I'm just telling you, if you're trying to birth anything out, you know, this new business that God has given you that's been incubating in your spirit, and this might be serving confirmation for somebody out there that's trying to start your own business. If you have that business that has been incubating in your spirit, and it is seem like every time you turn around something is going wrong, something is happening, you better make sure you got the right corner man in your corner to tell you some good, godly, sound wisdom so that you won't make a hiccup.
Yes, because that's what I like to call them, corner men. Yeah. And when you look at boxing, the corner man's job is to make sure that when you're exhausted, then they give you water. Yeah. When you want to give up, then they tell you, no, you're not going to throw in the towel. When you don't got your mouth busted open, they're going to bring you the bucket. Right. But what they're not going to do is let you give in. Right. They're going to tell you, get back out there. They're going to tell you how to counter move and do what you got to do. Because sometimes when your bottom drops out, you're so focused and distracted by your bottom being dropped out that you're not aware of what's going on around you. So if you ain't got the right corner men, then you're going to mess around and get busted upside your head, your eye, your mouth, and then you're gonna look at the corner man like, why you ain't tell me it was coming? Because they're so focused on everything else. So you got to make sure.
And they scared. You better get away from people that's scared,
that want to throw in that towel, and you be looking at the towel like, I won't finish fighting, but they want to throw it in for you.
You better get away from scared people that are scared. You better get away from them. I'm telling you, people that are scared will never propel you or push you into taking risk. Sometimes your dreams, you're gonna if you want to go forth with your dreams, you're gonna have to take some risk, and you need people that's gonna stand in faith with you. Not somebody that's saying, "Girl, I wouldn't do that with you." You know you got a mortgage. You doggone right. God know I got a mortgage too. So I'm doing what I'm supposed to do because He put this in me. And if God brings it to you, God knows He will provide the provision for it. That's all I know.
Yeah, and make sure that you prepared for the truth, the whole truth, so help you God. Because sometimes you ain't gonna want to hear it when the bottom drops.
Come on,
you ain't gonna want to fight no more. But you got to be willing to. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. But Pastor Singleton said, faith and fear cannot occupy in the same heart. That is true.
That's true.
And so, you got to make sure that, sometimes you got to hear the stuff that you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the thing, it's going to help you when this thing come away from under you, because it's coming.
Oh yeah, it's coming. If it hadn't come,
live long, like the old folks say, live long enough.
You'll see that it is definitely coming. But you're coming not so that it can destroy you. It's coming so that it can make you. It can transform you.
Yes. So thank God for the training, and I thank God for the bottom dropping out from away from under me.
Yeah.
I thank Him for post-op. I thank Him for every word that has been birthed out of this. Let's talk for real, because like I said, it's not just for y'all, it's helping us.
Yes.
And I'm growing and I'm learning, and I appreciate that God picked little old us to do something that's so powerful that we just really don't understand the power of our spoken words.
That's right.
Because like we said in our women's group, it's the secret things that are out here killing us. It's the things that when the bottom drops out that are killing us. So we got to make sure that, we're our sisters and our brother keeper.
Right. This just dropped in my spirit too. Let me speak to the men for a moment. Some of you men are doing the very best you can do. You are out here hustling. You doing all that you can do to make ends meet, and you trying to pay child support. For those of you who are paying child support, you're trying to keep a roof over your head, and maybe you have a wife and kids, and then you have some children somewhere else. Let me tell you something. Don't allow the circumstance and the situations that you continue to go through to cause you to give up and give in. Don't allow it. Just know that this thing has come to pass. It is not going to be like this always. Because a lot of times men get the raw end of the deal. You get the bad end of the stick. But I'm telling you today that God sees your efforts. And the more you do, God will open up doors for you you. I know what I'm talking about because he has done it for me. And the same way he did it for me, he will do it for you. And those of you who see brothers out here trying to do what's right, you need to begin to encourage them. There are some brothers out here who are really doing it right. And we applaud you. So I'm going to give you a hand clap today. We applaud you for doing it right. There are some brothers who are married, who are faithful to their vows, who are taking care of their kids, who are being the dad, who are being that husband that they need to be, who are being that godly priest over their home. They are doing it, and we applaud you. And those of you who know that you have some men in your family that are taking care of business, you need to encourage them as much as you can because the enemy is coming to sift them as wheat. And if he sift them, he got the whole family. So that's my conclusion for the day, my closing remarks for today. But when the bottom falls out, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Our prayer is that you stand.
Yes. What posture you going to take?
That's it.
What attitude you going to have behind it?
That's when your character showing up going to show up in. You don't cuss nobody out now. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it, preachers. Let me talk to the preachers. Preachers, don't cuss nobody out. I know you want to cuss them out. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, preachers.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So I say for me, my closing would be that when the bottom falls out away from under you, use the residue and everything that collapse with it to build yourself back up and pull yourself back out of that pit. Because really, that thing is, like she said, we said in the beginning, you thought it was coming to cause damage and to destroy you, but really it came to train you. And it really came to birth a warrior that's on the inside of you. Because one thing about it, when you get your back against the wall and it's the end to the end, you're going to find some fight somewhere. Yeah. Gird up your loins, as it said in the Bible. That's right. And that means that you really pull yourself together and you get your strength and you do whatever you got to do. Because I said, I'm a believer that the very thing that the enemy used to try to kill me is the thing that I'm going to use to destroy him. Exactly. So you got to learn how to use your weaponry and turn that thing around so that you can use it for God's glory. Because really that's what it's about. So I'm just excited about what's going to happen. Out of the bottom dropping. Yeah.
So we look forward to y'all telling us about your praise reports and your victories and your triumphs. Because we know that we overcome by the word of our testimony, by the blood of the Lamb. So it is overtime. We are 7 minutes over time, but we just needed to get those closing remarks out. So you guys have a blessed weekend. Love on your family. Hug them. Show them how much you care. People want to know how much you care. They don't care how much you know. All right? They don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. So if you haven't talked to one of your loved ones in a while, call them up.
Amen.
Call them up. Don't text them. Don't email them. Call them up so they can hear your voice. Because one day you might want to hear their voice and the voice might not be there.
Amen.
So we love you today. God bless you. Have a blessed weekend. And it's Friday. It's Friday.
You know the deal.
It's Friday.
Can we talk for real?
It's Friday.
So let's talk. Let's talk for real. Let's talk with Shay and Trill. Let's talk. Let's talk for real. Let's talk. Let's talk for real.
Hey. All right, y'all.
Love
Have
you
a
guys.
blessed weekend. We love you very, very much. Bye-bye.